Hello and welcome to the final episode of Anniversary Edition for this year. It's our Christmas episode, so we are going to be covering Die Hard, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary. On the show with me today are...
Oh, we're saying our own names this time. Okay, hi, I'm Kieran.
Yippee-ki-yay, I'm Adam.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
And as always, we're going to be spoiling this movie, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Right, Die Hard. I'll give you a quick synopsis. It is about John McClane, a New York police officer who is travelling to LA to see his estranged wife, to meet her for her Christmas party taking place at the Nakatomi Plaza. Whilst there, a group of German terrorists take over the building, hold people hostage, and John's the man to save the day.
Is that off IMDb or is that a Tom Webb special?
No, it's just kind of a mix and match, really.
Okay.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Because we had established that the IMDb ones were terrible.
Yeah, in the IMDb one, I did actually write it down. It says he tries to save his wife, Holly Gennaro, and several others.
Wow.
Yeah, which I thought kind of undersold it a bit because there's definitely more than
several. Yeah,
others.
a building full.
I mean,
It's
he
not a
tries
building
to
full,
save
it's-
several people. There are several people he probably didn't try to save, such
that's
as
true.
Ellis.
Bobby.
Yeah. That was an ad-lib, by the way.
I hate him so much.
When he says that when Alan Rickman just gives him that utter look of contempt, that was because it was an ad-lib and he was just like, what are you doing?
Bobby.
Yeah. Okay, so directed by John McTiernan and obviously stars Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, and everybody that everyone knows Die Hard, don't they?
Yeah.
We don't really need to.
John McTiernan is the man who previously brought us Predator the previous year.
Yeah.
Pretty good couple of years. What happened?
The 90s.
Yeah. Look him up. Things happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So, on that note, Sophie, when was the first time you saw Die Hard?
It would have been on TV when I was probably, 15 or something like that.
No.
Yeah, I've seen it probably every year, if not more than that. Maybe twice a year. It's always on TV. I feel like it's always on ITV2.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's the same way Shaun of the Dead is always on ITV4.
Yeah. So when it's on, I'll have it on. And I watched it again last week.
Okay, awesome. All right, Adam, what about you?
I feel like I've probably seen Die Hard from when I was... I'm trying to think. This is one of those films where you think, when would my mum have let me watch this film?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's some RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably saw RoboCop before I saw Die Hard,
I definitely saw RoboCop before I saw
But
Die
only
Hard.
because
You have a
RoboCop was
harrowing
really...
RoboCop story.
It was a really appealing concept, and also the marketing hit it big.
Right.
But for Die Hard... For Die Hard, I think I probably saw it when I was 15. I'm gonna make that guess. That's probably when my mum would have let me see it.
Interesting. Kieran?
Much like these two, I don't really know. My first contact would have been on TV. I think it would have been what has become known as the ITV dub.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, and it can't be specifically for ITV. It's got to be like the airline version or the US TV version or whatever. But that and RoboCop have famous dubs where they dub out all the swear words with inoffensive.
Yeah.
My favourite from Die Hard being Yippee-ki-yay, and then someone who's not Bruce Willis at all goes Kimosabi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that sounded like a RoboCop delivery.
It's utterly dreadful, but hilarious at the same time. And this is a movie I've seen countless times.
Yeah, same here. And I think I probably saw it at a similar time. I seem to remember it being... I think I might have seen it on its ITV premiere. Because they used to make a big... Because there are only, 4 channels then. They used to make a big deal of when a movie was shown for the first time.
So that probably would have been around 91 or 92.
Yeah, I think so.
Release windows used to work.
Yeah, so I think it probably was the early 90s. And I can remember that I watched it with both my mum and my dad. I don't know why we all decided to watch it, but we all sat down and ended up watching it.
Let's sit down with our child and watch this violent action movie.
Yeah, and I think we all really enjoyed it, and we were all surprised that it was there was humour in it, and But yeah, so we all really enjoyed it then. But I think
always been rather surprised by the kinds of films, particularly your mum enjoys.
Yeah,
some real left field things you wouldn't expect her to go for.
No, I think Fight Club was my biggest triumph, getting my mum to watch movies that she really ended up enjoying. So yeah, I guess that was probably sort of 11 or 12 for me. So
yeah,
all about the same age, I guess. Can you think of favourite moments? What was your favourite?
Pretty much the whole 2 hours.
Yeah?
I love this film to bits. It's brilliant.
The whole thing. There's no, you can't pick out a singular highlight.
It's the quintessential Western action movie.
Yeah?
I don't think anything overall has been better than this.
Interesting.
What, any movie ever?
No.
Okay.
A Western action movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hollywood action movies,
Okay.
I don't think get any better than this.
Okay.
Because, and I'm not just talking about the scale of the action, I'm talking about the character, the writing,
Right.
the plotting, the structure, the way it's shot, the way it's edited. It's, overall, it's a masterpiece, I think, of that particular genre.
Yeah. Okay.
Favourite moments, though? Pretty much every time Alan Rickman's on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the sweary quotes that Sophie won't let me read out on this show.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kieran.
No, I know you want a moment, but just overall, it's a brilliant film.
Okay. Interesting. What about you, Adam? Do you have a particular moment that you really, really like, that you love, or?
Is there a moment that I like in Die Hard?
Oh, there's at least one.
There are a lot of good scenes in this film. Oh, it is a really difficult question. My favourite scene in Die Hard, is it when Bruce Willis's wife slugs the reporter?
That is one of the most satisfying.
Yeah.
But this is a point that I had in my head that I ended up not making. That this is a film not about moments; it's about setup and payoff. This
That's
film
true,
sets
yeah.
up a whole load of stuff and then pays it all
that's
off
true.
brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have that moment without him being a dick and going and doorstepping the family and threatening the housekeeper with the INS. You know?
By the way, does she know that he's done that, or did she just decide to punch a reporter?
No. She does that based on. Actually, that's an interesting point.
She just slugs a reporter for no reason.
No, I think he's pretty.
She's not watching. Is she watching TV? She's sort of watching TV, but she has no idea the length.
It is on a
Richard has
TV
done.
within the building.
Yeah.
He does out her.
Yeah.
He outs her and her story. Well,
So I think
him
that's
and his,
right. I think
Bruce
is that
and his
not
story.
enough to smack him in the face?
That'd be enough, right?
Yeah, I think he's just generally just not a nice person. And I think there's something that he does in that scene where she hits him. That is the final straw. So I think it's a cumulative thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, she's full of adrenaline, just having been held hostage for however many hours.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just saying she's doing community service.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah,
I
mean, she
Well,
is.
her husband's a
Wait,
cop.
she's doing
She's
community
just-
service or she's doing the community a service?
Yeah.
I mean, both. Absolutely both. Yeah, favourite moment, knocking out the reporter. Hate that guy. Not the biggest dick, maybe even only the third biggest dick in Die Hard, but we can come around to that.
Let it be known that Adam wants to talk about the dicks of Die Hard.
I have a passage in my notes, the 3 dicks of Die Hard.
So, Sophie, what's your favourite part?
Similar to Kieran, I guess. Anytime Alan Rickman's on the screen, he's just genius. The scene that I always remember and that has always stayed with me, I guess from probably the first time I saw it, was when he has to run across the glass. That's just, it's not necessarily a favourite moment, but it's something that's just always in my mind when I think of Die Hard. And I guess overall, just the comedy in it. I mean, I knew it was funny, but watching it again, I think I'd kind of forgotten how much humour there was in it.
Yeah, but rumour has it that a lot of that was done by Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay.
Bruce Willis, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you forget, like, he was in
Who's in
Death
Moonlighting
Becomes Her, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Bruce Willis does consider himself above anything a comedian.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think that he's kind of. I think he got quite a lot of control out of doing those ad libs, and that's snowballed a bit.
Right.
But yeah, rumor has it that he did a lot of those kind of like one-liners and stuff like that. For me, the scene that always stands out is the scene where Hans and John McClane meet for the first time on the roof.
Oh, that's such a good
Yeah.
scene, yeah.
Where Alan Rickman just suddenly realises this is the guy,
This is the guy.
and he just instantly becomes
Oh!
yeah, exactly, an
I'm
American.
Bill.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And he just slips into that thing, and it's just like, for me, that shows you how complete a character and how dangerous Hans Gruber is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
it shows how quickly he can think and adapt to in a situation, which you've kind
He's
of
the
been.
human velociraptor.
He is, yeah. You've been learning all of that about John quite slowly over the course of the film, as you know, kind of his skills come into use. But then you kind of think he's a cop. That's what he does. He's supposed to be able to deal with situations like this and deal with these stresses and things. But Hans, you don't. You just think
He's not sharp though, is he? Like in that scene,
Yeah.
Hans is so quick and so sharp, and like you say, with John, it builds and builds, and you see him actually panic, and
Yeah.
you know he's freaking out, he doesn't know what to do, and you don't see that with Hans at all.
Exactly, and you that gives you the moment of like, how's John McClane going to beat this guy? What's this all-American hero going to do and pull out of the bag?
Yeah.
Because this guy is super smart and he's he knows what to do. So I think that's kind of one of my favourite.
Yeah, I really actually, in fact, him introducing himself as Bill,
Yeah,
I always love. That's maybe my favourite part of the film, actually. The fact that he saw
Yeah.
W, William, I'm going to call myself Bill, just to sell it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. There's so much in that moment that reveal his thought processes as a villain
Yeah.
that you're just like, okay, this guy, he really means his business and he really knows what, he understands how
He's
to play these
mercurial.
situations. Exactly, yeah. So, from favourite parts, are the things that people don't like? Adam, you seem to be less enthusiastic about the film than everybody else, I guess,
Right.
overall. But is there something really that
As a main problem with the film, I think him not having shoes is a problem for me.
See, I can understand I can understand why they did it. It's to give him a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the balling your feet on the carpet thing is nonsense, and it
Oh,
was
of course, yeah.
it was invented
Oh, yeah.
just to get his shoes off
Yeah.
for the glass scene that Sophie was talking
And,
about.
and
It's for cinematic foot fetishists, let's be honest.
I always
It's Quentin Tarantino.
my bugbear is that there must have been a better way to get his shoes off. If you're going to do that, if you're going to get his shoes off, there must have been a better way than to have that conceit of this jet lag or whatever it is.
We
thing.
could have thought of a better
Yeah.
thing than just taking
Yeah.
his shoes off.
What, as a
Because
disadvantage?
they address it immediately. Right, he's got his shoes off. This is a problem. He kills a terrorist. His feet are too small. All right, Bruce Willis, not that tall a guy. But then the next terrorist he kills, does he look at his shoes? No. The next one? No. The next one? No.
I'd love it if the whole movie was John
trying
McClane
to
going
find a
around
pair of
killing
shoes.
these people. Yeah, trying to find the guy with the same
I
shoe
bloody
size.
well would.
do you think there's ever a point where he wishes he wasn't a cop and he was a cobbler instead?
I mean, yeah. Well, he'd probably been way worse positioned for that job.
Yeah, that's true.
But he never
Give him
tries...
a hammer and nails, though.
Past the slight nod to it, he never tries to overcome this
Yeah.
handicap.
Yeah, that's true.
He just accepts it despite being offered alternatives.
Right.
And it's a little bit like, if I was in this position, and God knows, I really don't want to be. But if, say, one of the terrorists was wearing full body armour, I'd
You
be
got
like,
that off him straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
he steals the guns, he doesn't steal any of the armour.
No. Perhaps it's because, he didn't grow up playing video games.
Well, looting is very key.
At no
Someone
point-
could have had an epic.
At no point does he search a bin for a roast chicken to
Yeah.
get some energy back.
I know. And then it goes through, right? So he never looks for shoes past the first point,
Yeah.
Marco. And then the payoff for that happens. They set it up, it pays off. They shoot the glass with the world's slowest bullets. And he runs across the glass to escape, and then Hans is like, damn, I've lost him. Pretty sure he just left an enormous blood trail. But, don't follow that.
They do at some point. They do later on.
He's literally just run out of the room, leaving just litres of blood behind him.
But don't they get distracted? Isn't there something? Don't they get a call to the vault? Yeah, that's why they don't follow him.
They get a call to the vault, yeah, sure.
So they're just like, let's leave him be.
Let's leave him be, because I'm going to take my heavily armed bodyguards down to the vault for a non-issue. like that movie would have been over there, then and there, if this brilliant villain, this super hyper-intelligent, suave, extremely well-read villain just sort of went, oh look, just follow it. Hey, you with that machine gun, just follow the blood. You'll be fine. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, they've got to keep it going. They've got to keep the energy up and kind of like, give you some twists and turns.
Sure. So just to summarise, my low point with Die Hard was the fact they set something up sort of lazily. They don't make your hero, who's supposed to be, a Swiss Army knife of action scenes, try and shore up this problem, and you don't make your villain, who's supposed to be the smartest man on earth, properly take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I can see, because I don't like the whole setup of the shoe thing. It's kind of like it's such a.
Can we give him a nickname? Can he be the spoiler?
Why would I? We already do a spoiler alert.
Movies.
I'm not here to ruin movies. When I watched Die Hard back, if anything, I just felt like maybe I have seen this one too many times. I want to, as a disclaimer, I love Die Hard. Well, I historically have loved Die Hard, but I watched it back this time.
You weren't feeling it.
I wasn't really feeling it, and mostly I was thinking, man, this is not shot to a particularly good film.
It was the 80s.
It was shocking film.
You essentially have two choices of film stock in the mid-80s.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I actually really like the way it looks.
Yeah, it's shot by Jan de Bont, who would make his own action classic in Speed 5 or 6 years later.
Yeah, Speed.
Ah, yeah.
God, that's a film that doesn't require Keanu Reeves to have no shoes.
Conveniently, it also has an anniversary next year.
Yeah. Sweet.
So, Sophie, what about you? You already said you love it, but is there anything about it that you're kind of like, I wish they'd done that differently? Or...
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things. So I think, similarly to Adam, I've probably seen it too many times. And so when I was watching it back last week, I was a bit like, oh, God, yeah, okay, it's still going.
Right, yeah.
I was like,
it is always longer than I think.
Yeah, it's such a longer movie than I'd remembered. But no, I think for me, continuity really bugs me. And his shirt changes colour halfway through when he comes out of the air.
There's a missing scene.
Vents. Oh, is there?
Yeah, so essentially when he's in those vents, there's a scene where he kind of, I can't remember exactly, if he kind of goes down like a wrong turn in those air vents and ends up in some air vents that are in part of the building area. And I think they collapse and there's like cement dust around and he gets covered in that, and then he gets back in the air vents again, and they realise that I think there was something else happens in that scene, but there was no purpose to it, so they chopped it from the movie and just sandwiched two shots of him in the air vents together.
Well, see, so
I can buy grubby air vents, like dirtying up a white vest.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty instantaneous.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So my friend and I, we watched this together, and I was like, wait, is his shirt a different colour? And she was like, yeah, wait, is it? Or is it just really, we were like, is it just really grubby? But it's not, it's actually a different colour.
Yeah, it kind of.
100% a different shirt, different
maybe
colour.
It's budgetary. It's cheaper to go and buy a brown vest than it is to get the art department to dirty up a white one.
Well, I mean, here's the issue. It's actually 3 different colours.
Because it's like khaki at one point.
Yeah.
And then it's like really dark grey or black, and it's white at the beginning.
It's three different
So I'm like,
colours.
it's not...
It's also
that
invisible
really,
at some point.
really bothers me.
I'll have to dig out the deleted scene, and it kind of whatever it is he falls in kind of explains. And as he's getting sweatier, it's supposed to get darker. And
but I mean, it shouldn't change to khaki.
No, that's true.
Perhaps he's just got weird coloured sweat.
Or black.
Hey, he probably eats a lot of Stilton.
I mean, no, Stilton doesn't do that. It's just,
oh God,
yeah.
I can just imagine how horrible John McClane smells anyway at the end of that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that really bugs me, and it's so obvious.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the classic movie continuity error, really.
Yeah.
So, Kieran, what about you?
I tend to watch this with heart instead of head, but there is something that does bug me, and it's in the scene that you like the most.
Right.
And so the scene where John McClane and Bill Clay meet was thrown in because Alan Rickman was doing an American accent on the set. And the filmmakers was like, "Oh, that was good. Let's do it. Let's have this scene, and we'll have him do his American accent." His American accent is shit.
It's not that bad.
It is.
I've heard worse.
It is pretty bad though, and that kind of takes me out of it.
Right. Okay.
I think, but that's pretty much the only thing I don't like about this.
Okay. I think for me it's the setup of the shoes thing, because it's just ridiculous. So there's another question that we don't usually ask on this podcast because it's very specific to this film. Does everyone think that it is actually a Christmas movie?
I never think of it as a Christmas movie.
Really?
Partly because it's always on ITV2.
For our international listeners, I apologise that we've mentioned ITV about 50 times
Yeah, sorry
this
about
podcast. It is Channel 3 on UK television.
ITV2 isn't.
ITV2.
Oh, ITV2 is channel...
It's way down the listing. It's way down the listing.
It's not 7?
Don't know.
Who knows?
So for that reason, I don't think of it as a Christmas film. But then when I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
That's why it's there. Yeah, but I mean, if I wanted to feel Christmassy, which I don't at the moment, watching Die Hard didn't make me feel Christmassy.
Okay.
Shockingly.
How do you define a Christmas film?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to feel like...
Is it just a film that engenders you with cheer?
Yeah.
Felt pretty joyful at the end of Die Hard.
I mean, it's good that he's
does
the
that
bad,
make
he
Toy
stops the bad
Story
guy.
a Christmas movie?
No, because it's not set. It's set in the
So
summer.
it has to be set at Christmas.
I think
Part of Toy Story set at Christmas.
Or about
Yeah.
Christmas.
I think that it has to have an element of Christmas in it,
Yeah.
so that it has to mention it,
Yeah.
which it does. It has to be set at that time of year. But I also think it's not just about the content of the film; it's about the way people watch it as well. So for me, my wife and I have a bunch of movies that we always watch around Christmas.
Yeah.
And Die Hard is one of them. And it's become that tradition that we watch it at Christmas. So for us, it is a Christmas movie. But it does seem to be a bone of contention with a lot of people as to whether it is or it isn't.
Definitely not for me.
You've kind of hit the nail on the head there, in that a Christmas movie is only a Christmas movie by nature of the traditions around it. I imagine for a lot of people, The Wizard of Oz is a Christmas movie.
Could well be, yeah.
Yeah, it's personal traditions, isn't it? If it's something that you always watch at Christmas, even if it's Easter parade, to you, it's Christmassy because you watch it at Christmas.
Yeah.
So...
I think Die Hard's a Christmas movie, and I think a lot of people think a Christmas movie has to be schmaltzy and make you think how lucky you are to be alive and fall in love with your family all over again.
She does.
Which John McClane does, and he's pretty lucky to be alive.
That's true enough. But, yeah.
I think it's because, for me, it just makes no reference to the fact that it's Christmas, aside from the fact that he's gone there because it's Christmas.
It starts with a song with sleigh bells in.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you know that he's gone because
tree.
he's sort of, trying to reconnect with his wife at Christmas.
Yeah.
But as soon as the action starts, you kind of forget all of that. I forget all of that when I watch it.
Is his wife, Holly?
Holly.
Is she trying to leave him?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's just outwardly trying to leave him.
Yeah, I think basically she's moved on and he hasn't, and I think she thinks moving to the other side of the country, starting up a new job, changing her name is the signal that he needs, but apparently it's not.
No, because he's a stalker.
Yeah, he doesn't. I think he just doesn't.
Who knows how to kill people?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe she should be in witness protection.
Yeah.
we've all mentioned Alan Rickman
Yeah.
as being someone that we all like in this film, but is he the standout performance, or is there somebody else that you think is better or is good or worthy of a mention, or like, have you got favourite characters? Or
For me, Alan Rickman is the best performance in the film.
Yeah.
However, his character, you can have likable villains, but this guy is so #I am very smart that he is sort of insufferable, especially right at the beginning when he's like, oh yes, I read about it in Forbes. Oh yes, I read about it in National Geographic. Oh yes, I read about that in the Times. He's always talking about how he reads things. That's all he talks about. I read things. And then he knows everything about, drumroll please in the notes because I have forgotten his name.
Joe Takagi?
Takagi.
Yeah.
He knows everything about. He knows where he went to school, everything about him, because he reads it, but he doesn't know what he looks like. In a room full of white men, he can't find Joe
Japanese guy.
so, Kieran, what about you? Have you got a favourite performance or character?
Alan Rickman. Yeah.
There's no need to be apologetic about it. It absolutely launched him as an international acting star.
It did, and like also beyond that, this movie gave movies in general two things that have continued to this day: the Eurotrash baddie and Die Hard inner. So the subgenre.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't been any good, it certainly would have not given Hollywood the Eurotrash baddie trope for the past 30 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably would have had a shit Snape too.
Yeah. Well, we would have had Tim Roth.
Oh,
He
God.
was supposed to be
Too
to be
short.
Snape.
Too short. Moving on.
I heard a quote from him saying, he said, "I don't know if my Snape would have been better than Alan Rickman's, but he would have been a lot greasier."
Yeah.
So Sophie, what about you? Is it?
Yeah, it's Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Character-wise, I love the smaller part of the police officer who gets the call in.
Al Powell.
Al Powell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sergeant Al.
I was going to
think-
mention him. But
Yeah,
go on.
I think he's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's such a good balance, like his performance, but the character as well. It's just because you're like, yeah, you would if a body dropped onto your car.
Yeah. I was
And
going
you
to say.
started getting shot at
Yeah.
with a machine gun, you would panic and reverse the car. So I
Yes.
was like, yes, that's
Yes.
actually what you would do. So
Yeah, I was going to say I do love how much he freaks out at that moment.
Yeah, he's got. I think he like Rickman inventing that kind of Eurotrash baddie, invented that kind of that stereotype of cop.
Yeah.
Like the guy that has been put behind a desk because he shot a kid, and literally that's his story, and he's the pinnacle of that character. And I think his performance is really great because he has a lot to do, because he's essentially the way the audience find out everything about John McClane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has to be their eyes and ears. It's Reginald Vell Johnson is the name of the guy that played him.
Yeah.
But I
Came
think
back as Al in the second one.
yeah,
And then played a variation of that character many times in other things.
exactly. Yeah, he kind of became that. He kind of then got stereotyped as the
As
guy
that
he created the
guy,
stereotype
yeah.
for.
And there's
yeah.
a whole episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they try and find him. Like, try and find the actor.
Right.
Yeah. Is it him? Yeah, it's definitely him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was an episode of one of the variations of Family Guy where one of the characters, like everything, like whenever he's feeling down, it's like, I shot a kid. It just comes back to that all the time. So you spoke about it being like the quintessential
Hollywood action
movie. So you obviously think it still holds up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, we've been talking about this for half an hour, and like I haven't even touched the notes that I've written. There is so much good about this stuff, about this film. Even like anybody who's interested in writing or making films should watch it for the structure. I am a huge fan of setup and payoff. And there is so much good setup. Like the opening 5 minutes of this film, before the title even appears on the screen, before McClane even gets into the limo with Argyle and they have their conversation that's loaded with horrible exposition, you find out that McClane's a cop, but not in his home city. He's not a superhero because he doesn't like flying. It's Christmas. You find out where his wife works, that they're married, that they have kids, that they've been having trouble, but he's here to try and make it work. You find out that Ellis is a scumbag, and all of that is before he even gets in the car with Argyle to go to the tower.
Yeah.
They set up the watch that eventually is Hans's downfall at the end, is set up 10 minutes in a tiny throwaway comment. I love stuff like that. This is near, if not the pinnacle, nearing the pinnacle of like the setup and payoff format of writing.
So, would you agree with that? Can you think of a better like action movie, specifically like that kind of Hollywood action?
A better Hollywood action movie. Well, it's difficult. You know what's so great about Die Hard is how we actually mentioned this before when we were talking about Halloween, how a well-contained film can always be the best of its class.
Yes, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah,
you're barely outside the building.
Yeah.
Because you can concentrate, you can focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, progressively with the subsequent Die Hards, they've gone further afield from just being in one building, and they've got progressively worse.
Yeah,
it went from John McClane saves a building to John McClane saves an airport to John McClane saves a city to John McClane saves the world.
Yeah.
So I imagine for I haven't seen Die Hard 5. I presume he saves the entire universe.
No, I think technically 4 he saves the country.
Saves the country. Okay.
5 he saves the country. 5 he
saves
saves the world.
Yeah. So I guess he has to save space next.
6 he saves the audience because we're all sick of it.
Yeah.
Is there a better action movie? Better is too hard to say. I mean, there are films like Raiders. It's perfectly permissible to have a preferred action movie to Die Hard.
Yeah.
But Die Hard is... Oh, how do I put this? Die Hard is the perfectly simmered down action movie. It is an action jeu. And as a result, there's not a lot you can complain about.
Right. What about
apart from the no shoes thing.
Apart from the no shoes thing, what are you?
Yeah, I think. See, for me, like I say, it's not a Christmas movie; it's an action movie. So if I wanted to watch an action movie, Die Hard would always be like in my top 3 to pick from. I don't own a lot of action movies, and I have this on DVD, and
which I think speaks highly of it right there.
Yeah, and it's a film that I would like watch, sit down and actually choose to watch. I think like Kieran was saying, the character development, the way it's actually structured as a film, it's really enjoyable to watch. Like I said, I think I probably have seen it maybe too many times, and this time because I had to watch it because we were talking about it today. I was like, oh gosh, it is a longer movie than I'd remembered, but it's still a great movie for me. I think it's a great movie and absolutely stands up.
Yeah, I think for me it definitely does, and I think what makes it work so well is the fact that where it compares to other action movies is that Bruce Willis isn't like, he's not an Arnie or a Stallone or a Dolph Lundgren type.
No,
he's not. He's not a massive guy. He's
a normal guy.
He's a guy. And
he's
also
pretty big. He's biggish.
He's not. He's an athletic cop, but he's not muscular like to the degree that those.
You
guys
think of that
are.
shot in Predator where they do the high five and the bro handshake.
Yeah,
and those two bulging biceps.
How does the army get its hands on that much HGH?
The thing I was going to say was that he doesn't do anything in the film that's outside of the skill set that you think he should have as well. So
they'll save that for the sequels.
Well, he's on the edge of it. But there's nothing.
How does he hitch the C4 to a computer monitor and blow up the entire floor of a building? I don't know how C4 works. That's what I'm saying.
Oh right. Well, that technically is a problem, because C4 can only be ignited with an electrical charge.
Right.
So the assumption is
he has the detonators.
He has the detonators. So you have to kind of make the stretch that whatever those detonators are, they work on. They are creating an electrical charge based on an impact.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah, you can go with that.
Really?
But it's probably unlikely.
I don't see how that could possibly be the case.
Like, I mean, in theory, it would need a battery and it would need some sort of electrical. It would. So yeah, but aside from that, I mean, most of the things but even in that scene,
is that computer not got a little bit of electrical
charge
charge in
it?
it?
It was a monitor.
Yeah,
it didn't have a capacitor or anything.
Yeah, it probably does. In that scene though, when he's got the C4, he gets one of the detonators, he plugs it in. And then he just gets a handful more and just sticks loads in. So it's not. So he's just doing it randomly and hoping
what
that
he's
it's gonna
essentially
work.
doing is getting an extension lead and plugging it into itself, dropping it down an elevator shaft and blowing up a building.
I think,
but it's something he doesn't even know is going to work. All he knows is he has explosives and he has these things that are called detonators, and he slaps the two together.
But he also knows there are terrorists on the ground floor who need the detonators and the C4. So, if it doesn't work, which in the real life never would, he's just giving the detonators and the C4 to the terrorists.
And a free chair and computer monitor.
See, because I always assumed that the computer monitor was just for weight. It was not part of the electrical circuit.
Yes, I assume so too. However, he really hasn't been paying a lot of attention in physics class, because why would it make it land any faster? I mean, it would obviously add impact, it would add force.
Which is what you would be after.
But, I mean, you're adding mass, so you're increasing the force, but why would force detonate C4?
I don't know. I think
it's a film.
Yeah.
Well, because I started all this off saying, I don't know how C4 works. I thought I knew how C4 worked, that you just send an electric charge through it and it blows up.
Yeah.
Also, that amount of it would have leveled that building.
Yeah.
But now I know that I was right. I'm even angrier.
Yeah, apparently you can eat it and digest it and stuff. Like it's pretty fairly harmless until it's got
unless you get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Can we please write a short film or something where someone just like poisons someone, like slips C4 into their food and then just chucks a battery at them one day? Lick this battery.
Alright, just going to have a quick look at the notes, see if there's anything else we can cover.
We could talk about the 3 dicks.
Oh yeah, we will come back to that.
I mean, it's technically 5 dicks. We've got. I have written down. We've got the 3 dicks, starting with Dick the reporter, Richard.
Right.
We've got Harry Ellis, who is the worst.
Yeah.
But he dies, so
it's fine.
It's kind of fine. He's gross, and I hate him.
Yeah.
He's a cocaine-filled 80s twat. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Dwayne. Dwayne.
Is Dwayne? Which one's Dwayne? He's the
chief of police.
Oh, chief of police. Who's we
got 1,000 people down here covered in glass.
Yeah. He's the same. He's the guy from Trading Places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who I always think
garbage film.
If they'd done,
it is not. You take that back.
Dreadful.
If they'd done a live-action Simpsons movie, he would have been Principal Skinner.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course he would have. Yeah. So Dwayne is terrible at his job.
Yeah.
He's not only terrible at his job, he's bumbling with it as well.
Yeah,
he's making a series of poor decisions that are being handled poorly by the SWAT team.
Yeah.
And the terrorists are helping him for some reason. They're helping him make bad decisions, but also I don't really understand what anyone's trying to do during the LAPD siege of Nakatomi Plaza.
So I think the point of all of that is that he turns up and takes control away from Al.
Yeah.
And that kind of that brings Al up in your estimations because you're just like, he's the guy. He's the guy that's talking
he knew what
to
he
him.
was doing, and then
Al was making good decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it reinforces Al's character, and then also it is part of Hans's plan all along.
Yeah.
To escalate it to that level. So he's just facilitating that. Because he's going by the playbook. He's going by this is what I'm supposed to do.
Let's talk about the playbook for a second.
What the overreaction to a situation that's
Yes. So, Sophie, let's bring you into this. Tag you in. Let's play a game.
Okay.
If you need to get entry to a glass building,
Yeah.
but the doors are locked, how would you get in?
In that movie with...
Now, I've got 3 options for you.
Okay.
A, send in, like, an armoured personnel carrier tank. B, use an acetylene torch to try and get through the lock. Or C, break the glass.
I mean, I would go and break a panel of the glass, panel, and just mosey right
through.
in. Yeah,
walk
I'd be
through.
like,
Anyone?
Hey, guys.
Anyone? Walk through the glass. In fact, you know what's great about that building is, you don't want to go in the front door because the terrorists are guarding the front door. Every single part of that building is glass. You can get in at any point.
There's a door wherever you need one.
There's a door wherever you need one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hell, bring along a normal wooden ladder from anyone's shed. Get it on the first floor. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dwayne. You've really flipped that book on its head.
One of my favourite moments in that siege where the SWAT guys are all running up to the thing. They run through some bushes and one of the guys tags his finger on a rose bush and goes, ow. I don't know if it's one of those things that they just thought was funny and kept in, or if it was done on purpose, or if it was just a genuine
Maybe
thing.
it's like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah,
Maybe there's a thing where if you have like a normal sort of trooper, you have to have him do something dumb for laughs.
That comes right after the terrorists are taking up positions, and you got Al Leong who ends up behind the concession counter, and just he's already, and out the corner of his eye he notices the chocolate and has to steal a chocolate bar.
Yeah, which was not being shot for the film.
What?
I read that bit was just them getting ready to film the scene.
Yeah.
The cameras were just rolling.
And he's a stuntman.
He's a stuntman.
Yeah.
He was hungry.
He
wanted the chocolate bar.
So
he took the chocolate bar. They're going through their dailies, and they're like, oh, yeah, right, we'll use that. Brilliant.
There are so many of those little characterful moments in this film. Even, for example, John McClane railing against modern Christmas music and whistling jingle bells at the beginning is not an accident. That's his character. He's an old-fashioned guy.
Yeah.
Things like the completely pointless Johnson and Johnson, no relation.
Johnson and Johnson, a family counter-terrorism unit.
Again, that's the sort of thing I
and then that
love
leads to that great moment on the phone when one of them picks up this is Agent Johnson. No, the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the things I think that there's a lot of attention to detail in this film.
Yes.
And I think that's why it does elevate itself above your standard action movie.
It's characters versus characters rather than just ciphers versus ciphers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what it has heart.
Yeah.
Is the whole point of it.
I think for me as well, the thing that I like about this film as an action film is that, like you were saying, okay, the C4 thing aside, people behave how people would behave in those situations. Even like Al, who's trained, panics when he's being shot at with a machine gun.
Yeah.
And John McClane panics when he realises what's going on and he can't use the phones. And everybody, you can relate to the characters because you think, oh, okay, actually, yeah, that is what I would do. When it's a massive budget action film that's so far-fetched and the characters aren't properly developed, you kind of lose something because you just don't, you can't relate to them because you're like, well, yeah, but I'm not a fireman who suddenly knows how to disarm a bomb. Well, maybe they do, I don't know.
I mean, in the world of Die Hard, apparently it doesn't matter if you know how to do something or not.
If
you strap it to an office chair, it'll probably work.
But
no, for example, if he's a fireman instead of a cop, how does he know how to operate a gun?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
he's the right,
so it works. He's the right,
He's an American. He's a real American. If you're an American, you know how to operate a gun, Kieran.
It's kind of
he's not a liberal.
This is kind of the whole thrust of the film. It's American brute force overcomes European intellectualism.
Yeah.
So, I mean, recently, The Rock was in, was it Skyscraper?
Yeah.
Which, is a very...
Guy towering hard inferno.
Yeah, it's got a lot of similar concepts to it, yet in that he has to be, he's The Rock for a start, so he's massive.
Yeah.
He's, was he an amputee?
Yeah,
He's a security specialist. Yeah,
I
but the
actually-
whole shit they give him
specialist
is
in
that
that.
he's
I
an
really
NPC.
liked The Rock in that. I liked him playing that character in that film.
Yeah.
I didn't like the film.
Well, so this is my point, and in the trailer, the big stunt that they show is him leaping from a crane, like over this ridiculous chasm onto the side of the building, and it's kind of like that. Everything that is the opposite in Die Hard, and that's why Die Hard is so good.
Yeah.
So I kind of think I understand why Hollywood's like, we've got to be bigger and better
Yeah.
and do more.
Yeah,
and it's like-
exactly.
but
completely.
it kind of
I
it
understand
undermines
but-
it.
Yeah.
I feel.
There's the scene where the helicopter attacks McClane
of
on the roof.
course.
Yeah.
And he ties the hose, the fire hose around himself and jumps off the side. And he even says he's doing it. This is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
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 When they're
And
shooting
it
the
turns out
glass.
he's right.
Yeah, when they're shooting the glass, he is panicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
absolutely.
panicking hard. He
Yeah.
could have a panic attack at how hard he's panicking because he's screaming
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
going, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
When they're firing at him.
Yeah.
But those bullets move too slow.
But
Bang, 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 bang. Smash, 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 smash. Bang, 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 bang. Smash, 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 smash.
This is 80s action movie editing though.
Yeah.
Things moved a lot slower back then.
Yeah.
So for example, you can see what's going on in the fight scenes,
Yeah.
unlike when Bourne unfortunately reinvented everything by having great choreography and then vaguely waving the camera around in the direction of the actors.
yeah.
This is like the fights are sort of meaty and believable in this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he sort of accidentally kills one terrorist by falling down the stairs
yeah,
on his
like-
back and breaking his neck.
But and they're messy. Like it's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Wouldn't see that kind of action again until Casino Royale.
It's that kind of like, I think it's that tradition of like those old Hollywood stunt guys working on like coming from that sort of old westerns.
They're bar
and
fights.
and they're
Yeah.
bar
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, Matrix and Bourne and all that they kind of changed it, and now actually you're realizing that those kind of old action fight sequences, they have their place. Not everything
Yeah.
needs to be martial arts
Definitely.
and
No, yeah.
flashy.
Yeah, I doubt very much that John McClane knows any taekwondo,
Oh, exactly, yeah.
but he does know how to just grab a bloke and fall on him.
Right, so I think we've covered pretty much everything. We should draw this to a close.
Can we talk about one more thing? And I've brought this up in a couple of other episodes now, and we've actually touched on it before.
Okay.
One thing I really enjoy talking about is what happens after
Right.
the film. Obviously, we have a sequel, but
You mean immediately after?
yes.
Yeah,
so
but you've got there's 2 years in between those.
so John McClane's
So-
wife does community service for punching a reporter.
Yeah.
What
Ouch.
happens to John McClane? He probably escapes without doing time because it wasn't premeditated murder.
It's fine. Because he's
In the line of
it's,
duty,
it's,
right?
He is. It's
No,
not
he's
his
not on the line of
jurisdiction.
duty.
He's
No,
not-
no, he's
not in his
he's not.
jurisdiction.
He's not on duty.
No.
No, but that was surely what
fudge
he
it.
would say.
Same as like Beverly Hills Cop or whatever.
There'd be a trial.
The-
Al would go to bat for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it
he'd
would
say,
be.
I was acting in the best interest.
He'd
of
get. Would you reckon
people
he'd
I was-
get? He'd get suspended from duty for a bit. He almost certainly would. 'Cause
probably not
he-
because
he's used a firearm.
yeah, but it's
It's
all
the
to
US
do,
in
He gets
1990,
given paid leave, administrative leave.
It's the US. It's going to be he saved the building.
Is he getting feted like Sully? Is this what happens?
Yeah,
Is
he'll
he
just
going to
like-
be on Letterman?
Yeah, he just because they I think they even mentioned that in Die Hard 2, the fact that he's like famous and stuff like that. So they just make a hero out of him
Yeah.
because Americans love that story. So that's what would have happened.
Okay, he's going on
And he's,
Letterman.
he wasn't at work and he stepped up and acted.
Yeah, there's that.
He was a
there's,
good guy with a
He's a
gun.
good guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Totally the way they go.
That's exactly what would happen because he was defending his family.
Yeah.
So right now,
And innocent.
in 2018,
Exactly, yeah.
he's looking a lot like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Damn, that's I mean, depending on your political affiliations, for me, that's a dark ending. Okay, all right. So Holly does community service. Bruce Willis becomes, John McClane becomes an overnight celebrity, does the talk show circuit for a while, finds himself back at an airport a few years later.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep. Against the T-1000
Yes.
and Bill Fichtner.
Yeah.
T-1000.
Bill Fichtner's not in Die
No,
Hard 2.
it's the other William whose name I've forgotten right now. I'm probably even thinking of somebody else.
Definitely not H.
Yeah.
Macy. Oh, God, it's a gun!
I need
William
to find out.
Sadler.
There we go. I knew
Yeah.
it was one of the good bills.
Yeah.
I don't think this is my favourite action movie anymore. Having
Really?
watched it this final time. I say final time like I'll never see
You're
it.
never going to watch Die Hard again.
Never.
I'll
watching it
probably
again.
watch Die Hard again, but having watched it, and I don't know if I was necessarily in the mood to watch it a couple of weeks ago when I did. And
Because it's not Christmas.
Just save it till Christmas, yeah.
yeah, maybe
Although technically it is Christmas for everyone listening.
maybe
but
an
not
Indiana
for us.
Jones or a Terminator 2 has now overtaken it.
Oh, Terminator 2. That's a
Maybe
good
it's
See,
movie.
the thing,
Maybe it's just
I
aged too
separate
much
those
for
out.
me.
I don't class
there,
those
you've
as
got
action
sci-
movies.
yeah,
They're
you've got
subgenres.
sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly.
The one I class Terminator as a sci-fi. Well, Terminator 2 is a sci-fi, and Terminator 1 is a horror. I think even though it's sci-fi, and then I would class Raiders. I don't think of as an action movie at all.
Yeah, in my head,
Just
it's
an
not
adventure?
Really.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
How
movie.
about
Not an
how
adventure
about something like
movie.
Jurassic Park, which I think Jurassic Park is a lot better than Die Hard as a film.
Yeah.
Is Jurassic Park an action movie?
No.
It is a full hour of non-stop action at the end, just like Die Hard is.
Yeah, I still don't class it as an action movie.
It's more an adventure movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is an adventure movie not just an action movie that happens to go on a bit of a journey?
An adventure movie is an action movie with a PG certificate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I quite
think
like that.
So,
That's on
like,
point, yeah.
if you say action movie, I'm thinking things like Commando.
Yeah. Oh god, that movie is way better than I expected it to be. I only finally watched it a year or two ago. It's actually really good.
Yeah, so things like Commando, No Retreat, No Surrender.
Red Heat.
Yeah, Red Heat.
Speed.
Speed, yeah, Speed's
Yeah.
an action movie.
But Speed's a real high concept action movie.
Yeah, but it's
I
but
love Speed.
I still consider it as an action
Oh, yeah, yeah.
film.
Yeah, action movie.
Yeah, so stuff like that. So for me, it generally ends up like that kind of, essentially, the Die Hard premise of one guy against something.
Yeah,
That
and
to
you're
me-
Under siege.
contained
Yeah.
in a much
Under siege.
smaller.
Well, yeah, it's Die Hard in a thing. It's terrorists.
Yeah.
It's the same plot in all of them. Terrorists take over
Yeah.
somewhere, have hostages, and there's one man.
You know what
who
Yeah.
Speed has? Speed has the concept of the bus, whereas Die Hard has the concept of no shoes.
it
Isn't
has
the
a
bus
building.
better, folks?
I don't know. I think as a concept, yes, but I mean, it's I think Die Hard's more the complete package.
Okay, I think you're right. I will say, if you just have to pare everything back and make it just a pure action movie set in quote unquote the modern day with quote unquote no robots, then then yeah, sure.
Right. So that's it for this first Christmas episode of Anniversary Edition.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Should have said that at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was going to wait till the end.
Yeah.
But apparently we're doing it like 2 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
So, how are we going to ring in the new year?
He's looking at me, which means
Yeah.
it's my turn. Well, a new year means a whole new set of anniversaries.
Woo!
And we are going to party like it's 1999 with The Matrix. Wow, nobody wants to silence. Nobody wants to do The Matrix. Well, tough. We're doing that next week.
I'm excited to do The Matrix.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's been forever since I've seen The
Same
Matrix.
here.
Super looking forward to watching it again and seeing exactly where it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, that's what worries me. That's why I'm kind of a bit like,
Right.
I'm just like, am I going to be disappointed?
No, I think it'll be fine.
So yeah,
Well,
Save
we'll
all
find
this,
out.
watch
Stay
it, and we
tuned.
shall
I know.
reconvene in 7 days.
It's one of those things. I'm just like, this one could be like really horrible.
Absolutely could go either way.
Yeah.
John Wick, just to go back for a second, how do you think John Wick stands up to Die Hard? Because John Wick is absolutely going to be the generation
Yeah.
below us.
Not
This will
not
be
a
their Die
patch.
Hard.
Not a patch because it's in the wrong order.
John Wick is... You're right, John Wick is in the wrong order.
It's the
Tremendously
so what
enjoyable.
Kieran was saying, it is, but what Kieran was saying earlier about this Die Hard having great pacing and structure, John Wick doesn't have that because the structure is wrong.
Yeah.
It's fundamentally in the wrong order. So yeah, I mean, literally, if you took some scissors to it and flipped it around, you'd make it a much better movie.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to put some scissors to that DVD.
Yeah.
Flip it around.
yeah, because that'll work. That's
Flip it
proven to
around.
work, actually. You
Flip
should
it
try.
around.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely, you should hear what people are, like the younger millennials. John Wick is
Oh, yeah.
it for them.
Yeah.
It's the contemporary action movie. They probably won't watch Die Hard until they become big
their
enough
dads
film
bully them
fans
Yeah.
to start watching films that were released before they were born.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And for them, John Wick is that.
Yeah.
It's the action movie.
Yeah, I think so. Right.
I'll tape his mouth up, you wrap this up.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
sorry.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so that's it for this year, in fact. So Merry Christmas to everyone who's listening out there.
And to all a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you in the new year. So goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye!
This podcast was recorded in the Upbeat Studio in Soho. For studio inquiries, drop us an email on studio@upbeatproductions.com. You can also find us on Twitter. Head to @upbeatprod to see what we're up to, and @upbeat_ends for our film coverage and entertainment news.